Okay, we will wait for the attendees. There is a previous session that is going on right now with Dr. Lana and other
Yes,
people.
I know her very well.
Yeah. Okay. Lana, shall we start now or wait for more attendees?
I think we should start.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
just wait a few seconds more, I don't know.
Okay, we can wait.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I think I should start and then we can, right?
Sure.
Okay, let's go live. Just 1 second. We are going live from the SASTA page so that more people can attend. Because sometimes many people attend via Facebook Live more than here. Okay, so welcome everybody. We are very happy to have all of you with us today. In this wonderful evening, we are here. We have come here all together over one shared idea, which is the love of science. We would love to welcome our amazing guest, amazing speaker, Dr. Diria Buktinar Karajan. Dr. Diria is a visiting scholar at the Institute for International Science and Technology Policy, IISTP, under the Elliott School of International Affairs of George Washington University, focusing on science diplomacy. She is also the program manager at Euro Access North America, the European Commission's initiative covering the US and Canada. Dr. Karajan holds PhD in economics and the international relations of the European Union from Ankara University, Turkey. After completing her PhD, she continued her studies in the Department of Government at Georgetown University, Washington, D.C. as a postdoctoral fellow between 2014 and 2015. Following her tenure at Georgetown University, she taught courses on global politics, introduction to international relations, and the European Union as an assistant professor. Welcome with us, Dr. Karajan. We are very happy to have you, and we are looking forward to this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Also, good morning and good afternoon for everyone. And thank you for joining me today. And thank you for the kind introduction, of course. So I'm going to, first of all, share my screen before I start my presentation. So today I am going to I will try to share the results of one survey and 2 focus groups on European scientific diasporas in the US and try to understand their challenges and expectations. So first of all, I'm going to give a brief information about the importance of highly skilled migrants for the countries and especially for the US, provide some information about methodology, my main findings from the survey and focus groups, and I will include also recommendations. So as we all know, skilled migration, international labor mobility has been gaining more prominence due to the increasing importance of knowledge in the global economy and politics, because it has an important effect on the economic development of the countries. And the geography of talent has changed tremendously recently due to various reasons. You know, the knowledge transfer has changed, new countries are emerging countries, and many other reasons. And because of these reasons, the international labor migration has its own dynamics. Like, I mean, it has new agendas, new players, new destinations, new strategies, and new success stories from both, I mean, individual level and organizational, and of course, state levels. So the countries understood, I mean, so that the utilizing the expertise and knowledge of these diaspora networks are very important, and they want them to be a part of their strategies, government strategies. So they started new policies to attract and retain these talent. And how about the US? As you know, US has been one of the main destinations of choice for the researchers for a long time, especially after the world wars. And immigrants comprise a large proportion of skilled labor in the US. But European researchers comprise a big portion of this. So the US has a big number of European researchers, and they have different kinds of networks in the US, and their size and their structure are very different. Sometimes they're very small groups supported, not any financial support, but sometimes big organizations like MECUSA, Spanish Diaspora Network, like more than thousands of members. And so it's the scientific networks were vary in size, scope, field, and structure in the US. Probably in most of the countries it is the case, but the number of European researchers is very high in the US. However, recently an increasing number of studies show that the US is not as favorable as before. So everybody was saying that US was a kind of magnet for the high-skilled talent researchers, international students, but I think it is not the case anymore because there are other countries now in the competition for talent. So having insights into their challenges and expectations is important for policymakers for their future agendas. So to find these challenges and expectations from these researchers, we conducted this study. We started this study, and the data was conducted by Euraccess North America. Euraccess is an official European Commission project and aiming promoting Europe as a research destination. It also promotes the career development of researchers within 5 hubs all over the world. So focus groups and online survey are the leading data collection techniques of this study. So the survey was open for nearly 3 months, from November to January. And we also organized 2 focus groups and 1 strategy session with the participation of leaders, diaspora leaders, and embassy representatives. And for each focus groups, there were 12 participants from different organizations. So this is a kind of academic research, but at the same time, a different way of inviting and involving the participants, the respondents, because it's more kind of participatory way. When we start organizing the survey titled as Dynamics of Global Mobility, Opportunities and Challenges of European Scientific Diasporas, we at the same time started 3 sessions. The first one was strategy session. It was a kind of call for action for the other diaspora leaders, which was conducted in September. And the second and third meetings were organized as real focus groups. So many different countries participated, both from EU member countries as also associated countries. And at the end of last year, we shared the results of this focus group in our annual meeting. So let me just provide more information about the survey. So it was a digital way, but it reflects the researcher's perspective. When we look to focus groups, they reflect the diaspora leaders and embassy representatives' perspective. So it aimed to provide information on the challenges and opportunities of European talent, and we wanted to investigate the willingness and ideas of European researchers on how to get more connected with the other European scientific networks. So the data was open to a wider range of countries, but we focused, as I mentioned before, the respondents, the participants who are residing in the US and from the EU member and associated countries. So 270 people initiated the survey, but 127 them just listed their home country as one from EU or associated countries. But among them, 65 of them currently reside in the US. This is the demographics. So you see most of the participants are in the age range between 25 to 64, and more female participants responded us. And most of them are at the PhD level researchers. So when we look at the findings of the survey, you see we provided some respondents choices for them why they chose the US. What were the main reasons? Because of course they have some challenges, but at the same time, why they wanted to come to the US. So we used the Likert scale and provided 15, 16 choices for them to select. And to make the analysis easier, I just I will just mention some of the most important factors for them to choose the US. So when you see from the screen, it is about career, better career prospects, more diverse and equal working environment, lifestyle, research excellence, and opportunities for their research. So when we look at the responses, research and career-related reasons ranked higher compared to the other factors. For instance, 90% of the respondents indicate that research excellence is very important or extremely important. Similarly, better career prospects in the US is another driving factor. about 80% of the respondents think that this is very or extremely important. So how about less important factors to choose the US? So you see lower taxes, some policies regarding citizenship and residency, ease of visa application, better benefits, and better working conditions. Interestingly, for the researchers, lower taxes, these visa policies or other benefits are not that important compared to career opportunities and research excellence. The factors related to the environment is not determining factor, but are still important. So you see that research, their career prospect is relatively more important than the other factors when they decide to come to the US. So they are here, they have been conducting their work, or they are in labs, but they have some challenges both from their working environment or in their lifestyles, or because of the legal issues. So what are their challenges when they are residing in the US and doing their research? So you see that they say high level of competition, career progression, fewer benefits, unsatisfactory health systems are really important, big challenges for them. But when we look the less important ones, limited opportunities for training and development, culture of tolerance, and working environment, lack of tax incentives are important, but not as much as the other factors. So these are the challenges that I can provide. So when the respondents were ranked to ask these 15 provided challenges, they just mentioned that still they have some challenges mostly related to their research and career prospects. And of course, there are more data on this survey, but I also want to provide some information with you about the diasporas, because we ask the researchers about the benefits of contributing, or what are the benefits of engaging in a diaspora group. Because when we look at the numbers, most of the researchers are the members or a part of these diaspora networks, and they think that, for example, when I look at the numbers, only 6 of them said, no, these groups are not very useful or beneficial for my career development, but the rest said, yes, they are good, they contribute to my career and life in a better way. So what are the contributions or benefits of engaging? So they said they reflect that staying in touch with my culture, career development, networking, sharing experiences, receive or offer mentoring and sense of belonging. On the other hand, being a member or engaging in diaspora groups are more related to their personal life and their home countries, because when you see less important contributions, for example, staying up to date with my field of my study in my country, receiving help during crisis, engaging in lobby activities, collaboration, finding research partners and teaching. These are still very important factors, contributions, but relatively, they say that they want more networking, more mentoring, more self of belonging, and to stay more touch with their cultures. So it reflects that in terms of they have some challenges related to their career and working environment, but at the same time, they expect a different, perhaps things from the engaging in a diaspora network. So I want to also provide the insights from the focus groups. As I told you, we had the first meeting as a strategy session. It was a kind of warm-up of the scientific diaspora community. And then we had 2 focus groups. So these are the results for these focus groups. And first of all, I want to mention the methodology, because it was very participatory and way of conducting. And then we used group map and interactive brainstorming platform. And it was the qualitative aspect of the survey. And we asked similar questions, of course. So we invited diaspora leaders and embassy representatives to get their feedbacks. So these are some of the photos from our focus groups. And these are the organizations who supported us, who participated from different countries. You see, perhaps you're already a member of these diasporas. So what was reflected in these focus groups? So I will go very quickly because of the time limit. So the first question was about the members' challenges. So I just want to kindly remind that these are the reflections from the leaders, a bit more organizational level. So they said that they have challenges about green card, visa, cultural differences, recognition of their professional experiences. This is important because in Europe, I think they face less problems in terms of mutual recognition of diplomas, for example. The complexity and heterogeneity in federal and state rules, lack of guidance, and less knowledge about career developments, and the challenge for finding jobs and few opportunities to stay connected with home country. So what they need networking, mentoring, again, networking, but this time with other networks. So career path information, connection, and team up. What are the contributions? So engaging with a diaspora group, how they benefit to the members. So diaspora leaders say that they can have networking, they have peer support, they share resources and job opportunities, they can access to a support system and bring together community around shared interests and learn from others. Collaboration, they can collaborate, promote success stories. This is very important to encourage them. And for me, what they have written is all keywords and very important, like, for example, exchanging, collaboration, networking. These are really important for not only for their career development, but also personal life as well. And they mentioned mentorship a lot. Perhaps we can talk more on the importance of mentorship in the future. So these are kind of part for the recommendations. So how the EU can facilitate European scientific diaspora to get more involved. Because in the survey, we asked whether they want to involve also or get connected with the other European diasporas. And most of the respondents said yes. And they want to be connected with the other European diasporas as well. So they said that the EU in general, what they want from EU, they want some funding to organize events for diaspora groups. And they want an online platform. This was very common from most of the respondents. And because to collaborate, to connect, they need a platform that all the diasporas can engage in. And Another expectation was about training or the supporting of diasporas and diaspora leaders, because the sustainability of these organizations are very important because of the voluntary base working. The turnover is very high, and they really cannot, for example, 1 or 2 years, you can find a very enthusiastic and a leader of a group, but the next year you may not. They really cannot go on with this voluntary work anymore. So I think they need more funding and they need training, because they don't know even how to create a new network. So the EU, they ask from the EU to have more funding, especially for the in-person events, for annual meeting. For example, can organize an annual meeting for scientific diasporas. And how about the home countries? Of course, this is one of the, I think, most important parts, because when we look how they connect with their home country is very important. So more fun, they think that they are really not very connected with their home countries, most of the members. So they still need more funding, and they want better and closer collaboration with embassies and consulates, and involve or extend the permanence of science attaches. So probably the governments need to call their embassies to be more active and to get involved with diaspora groups and collect data. They really need data about the diaspora networks and advertise the existing ones. So, for example, from one country, there is not only one network, there might be different, so that they can also connect these diaspora networks. So in general, they need systematic solutions for connecting the state with diaspora. And how about the US? How can the US can be more active to retain researchers from the scientific diaspora? So the leaders reflected that the US really need to work on visa issues, because they need more room for academic visas or working visas, and they need more sponsorships for visas. And the researchers really need a kind of simplified and clearer visa process, and the flexibility out of academia. This was also reflected many times. Now the researchers are not only interested in working in academia, so they are searching for other options outside of academia. So they need to also connect these researchers with private sector and other research organizations. And the permanent residency, of course, it also raised the question of dual citizenship. Some of the countries do not let. This was another recommendations for the home countries, because some of the countries don't let dual citizenship. And recognize professional experience outside the US, and make the path between legal status easier and more accessible. So the last two questions was, and this is the sixth question, and how this engaging with other diaspora networks enhance their members. Again, we see the keywords, sharing ideas, organizing events, creating, developing, learning from each other, new collaboration, new interdisciplinary projects and collaboration. So this is something that I will also mention, because in our work, you cannot really do your research within just collaborating with even one country or two countries. It should be all with the participation, collaboration with the other organizations from other countries, as well as it should be multidisciplinary, right? So they really need more, new collaboration opportunities. And of course, they want more cultural exchange between the diasporas. So the last one was what they offered. So how, what kind of models or ideas they have that these leaders reflected. So mainly they said that they need a platform. So to set a hub as a platform will be very helpful to share all these resources and getting involved with the other diaspora networks. And the other thing is what I see, because as you see from my shared screen, there are so many answers, but they want the support for the diaspora leaders, diaspora networks, so they have full-time positions. They need full-time positions to support the diasporas, and creating really more organized social media platforms and virtual meetings. So after all of this results and reflections, I would love to also share our takeaways. So researchers want more funding and smooth, clear, and easy pathways to residency permits for visa and a variety of programs or platforms, enabling themselves to develop their careers and have better lifestyles during their stay in the US or in other host countries. So mainly they need networking, team up, and mentoring. They need more collaboration, more interdisciplinary research, but at the same time, they want to be more connected with their home countries. And they ask from their governments to make it easier to go back. So it is not something about connecting, but also reconnecting. So migration of talent has been an important part of the government's policies. But scientific diasporas are a bit recent topics that we have just started to discuss. So these scientific diasporas should be the part of the government's migration policies and also the part of their science diplomacy mechanisms and tools. Both receiving and hosting countries should not delay policy reforms to ensure that these scientists and engineers have better career prospects and quality of life. So I hope all these results, we are also going to share as a report or a paper. So we hope that this collected data from this study can support policymakers in their future agenda settings. And I want to say thank you for all listening to me. And I want to stop my screen now.
Thank you so much, Daria.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for the amazing talk and for participating in the Global Conference for Diaspora Networks in Science.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.